Welcome to the Insight Meditation community of Charlottesville, Virginia. You can find all of our program offerings and information about our Sangha at www.imeditation.org. We meet weekly on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, currently on the Zoom platform for meditation and a Dharma talk given by one of our teachers. We also meet daily at noon Eastern Time on Zoom for sitting practice. We hope you can join us.
You know, I started thinking a couple of weeks ago, even before all this craziness, I started thinking at the new year about what I might speak of, because I was very aware at the new year of like the newspaper headlines that were talking about waiting for things to return to normal. You know, all the stuff about, you know, how hopefully 2021 is going to be a better year, and um, just there was a quote from Dave Barry. He says, "This was a year of nonstop awfulness, a year when we kept saying it, you know, much hope that next year will be better." And I got a email from a friend who said that they were just thinking of us and waiting for better times. And I was just so struck by the general mood of waiting for something better. Um, and I thought, well, let's try to talk about that a little bit, because these moments, these uncertain times, can seem so very wrong. It can just feel like you know, everything that's familiar, everything, any idea that we have about how things are supposed to be, that it's just wrong. Everything's been lost, and we have to wait until it's regained, and maybe a new president, or maybe tomorrow, or you know, maybe this will happen, maybe that'll happen, and then things will be better. Um, and you know, as I was alluding to just a minute ago, we can even grasp and holding, and maybe even emotions of despair or anxiety or restlessness. My personal flavor over the last few days has been rage. Um, and moving into unwholesome speech and action, in ways that are not really contributing to our and to the ending of suffering, to awakeness and to the ending of suffering. So you know, I was thinking that, you know, the invitation of our practice is really to pause and relax right here, right now. Right here, not waiting for tomorrow to be better, but this, whatever it is that we're, you know, that we're met with right here, right now. This is our practice. Um, and so I thought it might be useful for us to explore together, you know, taking refuge in our practice and in the one of the things, though, that I've also been amused about is, you know, you'll see these articles, or I see these articles, and they say, you know, things to do to kind of make yourself feel better. And they always talk about meditating. And it just is like, I kind of hesitate, because it's sort of like they, you know, that there'll be articles that speak about meditation, sort of like it's a business model. It's like, you know, buy this elixir and, you know, or just do this thing. You just sit really still and just everything will be okay. You'll be in control. And I was reminded I have this greeting card. I think I've spoken of it once before. Is one of the one of my favorite greeting cards is it says, "Things I've learned. A universal remote control does not, in fact, allow you to control the universe." And then inside it says, "I did not get you a universal remote control for your birthday because, believe me, you'd just be disappointed." And so we could make that about meditation. You know, meditation does not, in fact, allow you to control the universe. And I did not get you a meditation class for your birthday because, believe me, you'd just be disappointed, if that's what you're looking for. You know, some capacity, some kind of business model. Ajahn Suchidu calls it, driving a taxi. It's like meditation. Okay, we're gonna like get someplace, and then everything's going to be okay. And we can have that kind of a business model just about our attitude about these days or these emotions or these experiences that we're having. Okay, things will be better if it isn't this, whatever this is. If it isn't this, things will be better. So our meditation practice is actually developing a deeper, kinder, more compassionate ability to be fully present here with this, with being surprised and not surprised, with being, I'm going through now some of your oops, I see that I got interrupted. Um, my computer tells me about a minute afterwards when I've been interrupted. Furious and intrigued, all over the place, unsettled, wound up, very uncomfortable, sad, um, seeking to understand, slightly relieved, terrifying. So, just all of those experiences. This is what our meditation practice is inviting us to be with. And I was, again, as I started to think about it a few weeks ago, I was thinking of the teaching. It was one of the first teachings I ever encountered about our spiritual practice from Suzuki Roshi, where he said we should appreciate what we are doing. There is no preparation for something else. Okay. And in our practice, we're taught that there are three kinds of wisdom. One is just the wisdom of hearing the teaching. So we can hear their teaching. We should appreciate what we are doing. There is no preparation for something else. And we can hear that and think, oh, that kind of sounds good. That kind of sounds good. But the second level of wisdom is the reflecting on that. What does that mean? We should appreciate what we are doing. We should appreciate what we are doing. What does that mean? So what I wanted to do here for a moment is invite you into groups of three and just ask you to reflect together. We're not trying to get the right answer. It's a practice of reflecting. What does Suzuki Roshi mean when he says we should? Because apparently what he means is we should appreciate being sad and helpless and grateful and angry and confused and discouraged and troubled and apprehensive and worried and hopeful and sad and scared and comforted and all of those things. What does it mean to appreciate? So if you could reflect just a little bit with one another what appreciation means, and then when we come back, I'll just ask you to maybe do the same thing and just sort of like what does that mean to you? Teaching. He says there are three kinds of wisdom. The first kind is hearing the teachings, just hearing it. And those when we read the books and you listen to, Suzuki Roshi's quote or whatever. The second is reflecting. We start to reflect. And if we're really paying attention, um, probably the first thing that happens when we start to reflect is we go, when I really reflect on this, I don't know what this means. And that's good reflecting. That's, And then the third level of wisdom is the level of how do I bring this into my actual experience? And so, I kind of look at the words that you have over on the side, and it's like, how do I bring this teaching? We should something else. How do I bring that into my experience? Now, granted, the experience, the words that you had an hour ago, they might be totally different now. And maybe that's part of how you bring it in. I had my friend Judy told me this really sweet story, and I thought it was such a lovely metaphor. I wanted to share it with you. Judy's cat has been blind for a long time, and she just went. No, I'm sorry. She's been deaf for a long time, and she just went blind. So now Judy's cat is both deaf and blind. And Judy says she sits in the middle of the room. She put her in a room, and there's, over here there's her food bowl, and over here here's her bed, and over here is her little litter box, and all this stuff. And Judy said she sits in the middle of the room, and the way Judy put it, she said she's trying to make out what to do with all this. Being deaf and blind, trying to make out how to work with this. And to me, it just sounded like the greatest description of where we are, with these difficult moments and these, whether it's the difficult moments historically and what's going on out there, or the difficult experiences that we have in our own lives. Can we sit with the uncertainty, that the I don't have a clueness of it, um, like the kitty does, trying to work out how to be with us, because we're so propelled into some kind of action, speech, action, going toward, going away, take, whatever it is, we're so propelled into some kind of action that we struggle sometimes to what skillful action really is. And so here is this kitty trying to work out how to be with her uncertainty. And aren't we all these days? Trying to work out how to be with our own experience, how to be with what's going on in the world. Um, so the practice invites us to be with that level of uncertainty, to be with the experience, to be with the level of uncertainty, and to inquire, to let go of what's not helpful, which is thinking about all the things about the past that were better than this, and all the things about the future that are going to be better than this, and all the reasons why whatever this is really wrong, and it's really your fault that I'm experiencing it. Um, Here's what my experience is. Can I be with this? And when I can't be with this, can I be kind? And can I keep coming back? Where is suffering? Is there some release that's invited? What is needed? What is mine to do? And very often, when we really sit with that, what we find is that what is mine to do is a bit of a surprise.
Mm.
You know, I was sitting with it, sitting with it, sitting with it, sitting with it. And I realized, oh, I am called to speak. This is a battle I need to have, you know, and without that kind of pause, um, there could be a million responses to it. I was remembering T.S. Eliot's lines in his poem *East Coker*, and I want to end with, "Be still and let the darkness come upon you, that not knowing that I don't have a clueness, which shall be the darkness of God. Is in a theater, the lights are extinguished for the scene to be changed, with a hollow rumble of wings, with a movement of darkness on darkness. And we know that the hills and the trees, the distant panorama, and the bold, imposing facade are all being rolled away. You know, I just love that image of, it's dark, like the kitty, it's dark. We know that the bold, imposing facade that was part of the previous scene is being rolled away, and we don't know yet, but we need to wait and be present with these moments of transition. Letting it open us to miracles. The experience that Claudia mentioned when I was on the airplane that time actually opened, when I sat with it, opened into a really amazing, sweet, sacred moment with that woman. What a surprise. We should appreciate what we are doing. There's no preparation for something else. So, thank you.